Now shifting to a news that's just coming, 12 dead in Sahibabad, the fire incident. The fire broke out in a garment factory adjoining Delhi. Several firefighters and police teams are at the spot as well. Well, the news is from Sahibabad area near the capital. Also getting to know that it's a garment factory and a blaze has almost doused the entire factory. 12 people for now succumbing to their injuries in the incident. A massive fire which has broken out in Sahibabad near the capital. We'll get you more details as we're getting more information, but we can tell you many have been injured. 2 fire tenders at least are at the spot as per the initial reports that are coming in. The fire that broke out in Sahibabad happened in a garment factory. My colleague Anindyo joining us. Anindyo, first of all, tell us what's the state of the rescue operation and how did the blaze start?
Well, the rescue operation is still on, but it's more or less, we are given to understand it's more or less over. Even as we speak, 2 people were very grievously injured, are being admitted at GTB hospital in Delhi. As you rightly mentioned, Devina, 12 people have succumbed to injury. It's a massive fire that engulfed and sparked at around 5 a.m. this morning for the jacket factory in Sahibabad area, very close to Ghaziabad and around 15 kilometers away from the national capital. But as we speak, 12 people have succumbed to their injuries. 2 people with grievous injuries have been admitted to GTB hospital, and people with minor injuries, as much as 10, have been admitted in many hospitals in and around Sahibabad area. Back to you.
The fire started in there, and what seems to be the preliminary cause of this fire?
Well, that is subject to investigation. That will be answered in due course of time. But what we are given to understand is that there has been some laxity on the part of the management of that government company itself, because this is the industrial area, and there has been this grievances of the locals that a lot of companies flout fire safety norms, and that is why probably led to it. But what exactly prompted this fire is a subject of investigation.
But also, Anindyo, tell us, when was it that the rescue teams finally made it to Sahibabad area? What are the challenges that they're facing? Because we understand it's in a very congested area of Ghaziabad.
Absolutely, it's not only congested, but also it's a very muddy area. What we are given to understand, a lot of area doesn't have any proper roads, and that's why to make sure that those fire tenders reach there is a big task itself. Also, another challenge is that they don't have any fire service locally. So to make sure that those fire tenders reach there on time itself is a challenge. That's why probably the first call was made around.
Be with me, because let me take our viewers through these first visuals that we're getting. There's a flare that is coming out of the windows. These are the visuals that we've got from early morning. Seems to be that fire has been doused. India Today getting you these exclusive visuals, but many have been injured as well. The charred remains can be seen on the ground. Locals have gathered at this spot. Sahibabad area in Ghaziabad in the capital is a very congested area, known for small houses and also factories like this one, the garment factory, which run within residential complexes as well. Many of them do not even have proper permissions or safety protocols in place to meet any kind of emergency situation. Initial reports pointing out that it was at 5 a.m. this morning that first fire was reported, but 12 people succumbing to injuries, and that's a death toll that speaks of the brazen negligence also, Anindyo, not only by the garment factory owners, but it seems that there could have been a delay as well in terms of reporting the fire and the rescue operation.
Already allegations coming in from locals that there has been a delay on part of the fire safety of Ghaziabad Fire Safety Department to reach there on time. So, but this kind of allegations always put in at any time of any fire tragedy. Those need to be substantiated. But having said that, Devina, the fact remains that the brazen, flouting of norms, as you rightly mentioned, has been extremely rampant, particularly in that area, and that's why you see a lot of companies mushrooming overnight over there. That's why you see people avoiding the national Delhi, because they have been very strict fire safety norms, and that's why you see areas like Gurgaon, areas like Sahibabad, areas like Faridabad. There have been areas where fire safety norms can very easily avoided, and probably that's what ensures this kind of massive fire tragedies, costing lives, young lives, as much as 12.
And we are also getting reports that this is a jacket factory which was operating in Sahibabad area, where the fire took place around 5 a.m. is when the first information came in. At least 2 fire tenders rushed to the spot. The visuals on the screen of later in the morning indicate that fire has been brought under control for the moment, but locals continue to surround the building. And also it indicates that how there is even lack of protocol and lack of procedure. Even right now, after there are charred remains which could be seen around this garment factory area, because there could be loose wires hanging, there could be structure which could be crumbling, but one cannot see any official who is managing the crowd that's gathered there.
Absolutely, Devina, we don't want to comment at this point about particularly this factory, but in general, this area has a lot of brazenness as far as respecting fire safety norms are concerned. They don't have fire safety manuals following. They don't have proper evacuation areas. They don't have, water spraying machines. So basically, the basic fire safety norms are openly and brazenly violated. And that's why you see, as I was mentioning a little earlier, mushrooming of this kind of companies here at Sahibabad area, or for that matter in Faridabad, because these are areas where it's encouraged to flout those norms, and that's why you see this kind of companies growing overnight. But having said that, this kind of flouting has cost 12 lives. But unfortunately, the question is that whether administration will wake up, the administration will learn a lesson, because this is just not a matter of injuries, it's a matter of 12 young lives being lost because of sheer brazenness of not only the company but also in some way the administration.
Have you been able, Anandya, also been able to speak to the owners of this garment factory? Do we know about their whereabouts as well? Because we understand cops have now managed to reach the spot. We'll try and connect with Anandya in just a bit, but these are the visuals that we're getting you of a blaze that was reported in a jacket factory in Ghaziabad's Sahibabad area. It's a very congested area in Uttar Pradesh, known for residential complexes and small factories like the one that you see on your screen that's been rampant. No safety procedure seems to be followed, because the fire was first reported at 5 a.m. to the authorities as well. And that's when the fire tenders rushed to the spot. As per the initial report that's come in, 12 people have succumbed to their lives. It's a Delhi doorstep, and you see brazen flouting of norms right here with these visuals telling you a story of how this turned into a tragedy with the jacket factory catching fire. When we've been able to speak to our reporters, getting initial details that an investigation has been launched. We haven't been able to establish contact with the garment factory owners, but many are believed to be injured as fire tenders are at the spot. Also got some details earlier about how fire could have been brought under control, but locals continue to gather at the spot. No crowd management for now was seen in the initial visuals that have come in. Charred remains of the garment factory was seen, but what led to the fire is still a mystery and a matter of investigation for now. All the injured have been rushed to the nearest hospital. Reports saying that they are at the GTB hospital where they're being treated and given emergency treatment. But 12 lives lost in this fire tragedy. No accountability fixed so far. And what you can see on your screen is the initial images of the blaze that took place in Sahibabad in Ghaziabad area. This is another area and another tragedy, which is a wake-up call for us to learn lessons of how many of these small units are working out of small areas, residential areas, and are hazardous not only to the people around it, but also people who are working there, because many of them do not have proper permissions, do not have proper licenses. In tragedies such as this, there are no safety measures also, including a simple fire extinguisher. So more details will come out as probe is underway.